Hey everyone, what's up? Trusting that you are doing well. So far, so good. I'm also blessed and I'm feeling so fresh as we're starting off the month of February. Today, I just want to have a small topic. All of us, I know we are heading towards Valentine's Day. For those who are in love, I tell you, this is the time to get out there, do some 1, 2, 3 for your loved ones. Yeah, it's good to celebrate Valentine's Day, and I know so many hearts are also going to be broken because you are alone, and maybe you had promised like 3, 4, 5 guys out there that you are dating that you must be with them, and apparently now you can't divide yourself equally to be with them. So you might end up choosing the best from the rest, and then the rest will get mad at you. So it's good to celebrate love, and I usually say don't only celebrate Valentine's Day once in a year. I'd rather you even celebrate Valentine's Day the rest of the years, and on that material day don't even need to celebrate. So make sure that for your loved one, at least make sure that each and every day is a Valentine's Day for them. Stay positive, be good, be that caring guy for them. So that's a topic I'll come to cover towards maybe next week when we are in the month of Valentine, on what you need to do for them so that you can earn those bonga points. Now, today I'm going to talk on the importance or communication in relationships, because I've come to realize that people tend to, communication is actually the most basic element in a relationship. Simple misunderstandings can easily degenerate to a breakup. Stable relationships have actually been brought down because of ineffective communication. So today I just want to tackle it briefly. I won't take a lot of your time. So communication, definitely we know, is just the way you relate to each other, right? It can be through text, it can be through, could be verbal, it could also be by sign. Yeah, if I look like what I look like, right? So it could also be, there are so many forms of communication, mails and stuff, but today I'm just going to talk about the importance of communication in relationships. So after I've defined what communication is, I know you guys know what it is. So why is it that it is important for people to communicate? Because as I told you earlier, communication is a basic need in any relationship. For it to thrive, you guys need to just, you need to agree with each other, and you need to talk to each other and not talk at each other. So the number one thing of why communication is important is it avoids misunderstandings. This is very clear. Once you guys are good in communication, you click in each and everything that you do. Babe, I'll be late, I'll be staying at work. Oh, can you kindly pick the kids? Oh, can you kindly do this and that for me? I'm sick, I'll not be able to make it. I'm kind of held up here. I love you. Those are the basics. So it avoids misunderstandings. And number two is setting expectations. So when you're getting into a relationship and you communicate your expectations, yeah, in the next 2 years, I want to have this car. In the next 3 years, I want to have this piece of land. In the next 1 year, I want to have this kind of a certificate to my name. So once you communicate those things early enough in a relationship, the other partner is able to take you in with your expectations. So you find like the relationship becomes smoother, rather than, you decide to hide part of the ambition that you have, or the goals that you have, and then at the end of it all, it tends to lead to frustrations in the relationship. And then, last but not least, is communication helps you to know your partner better, because once you open up to them and once they open up to you, then you tend to learn them. So I normally recommend that it's good for you guys to maintain an open environment. I know a good number of men, I know they are not, they don't like talking a lot, and this sometimes can eat into your relationship, because it's good to, to just air out your views once in a while. Don't just be in the house and, become mute. You become like you are dumb. You can't talk. Nobody can even learn whether you are happy, whether you are sad. So it's even hard for somebody to assist you, and then you might end up blaming them to be insensitive, yet it's you who is not opening up. So I think in communication, I'll tend to say that ladies are fairly performing better than us, because with them they easily open up. So that is that. Now, after I've listed those three, which are, according to me, I believe are fairly important reasons of communication, is now, how do you communicate effectively? How? Number one is never discuss important things on text. Yeah, if you have your guy there or your lady there and there is something that you feel is extremely important, not unless they're far away. But if it's someone that you meet occasionally, I'd prefer, if it's something that is extremely important, you meet with them one-on-one. This way they're able to take you seriously, or your message is bound to resonate better, because you're going now to, to explain yourself well, and you are going to appear more serious with that. So never discuss important things on text, but rather I prefer it to be verbal. Number two is be honest with each other. When you're communicating, make sure that at least you try to be honest. Honesty is an expensive thing for people who, like lying a lot. There are those people whose character actually is built on the foundation of lies. And I normally say it's very hard to lie, because once you start lying, then it means you have to keep on lying. And at the end of it all, somebody might discover in your a cycle of lies, somebody might discover somewhere there that you lied, and the entire building comes down like a house of cards. So it's important for you to be honest with each other. It's going to enhance how you are going to communicate to them. And then when you're communicating to somebody, try to use statements like we. Instead of saying you, me, I must do it. You are at fault. Those accusatory terms and statements actually tend to weigh down on how you relate with each other. So try to make sure that in the relationship, because you are in it jointly, so if there is anything you want to do, it's good to, when you're communicating to the other partner, you make sure at least you try to look at the choice of words that you're speaking to the other person, because there are some words which can easily pierce someone through the heart. A word or an abuse is something that cannot be seen. It's something that will just be uttered and it will go with the wind. But it's so sharp, it can easily pierce someone's heart, and it can cause irreparable damage. So before you utter anything from your mouth, make sure that you think, because the outcome is so obvious. And then while resolving a conflict, try to use an undertone of love. I think that is very clear when you have a conflict, like a disagreement, because disagreements are there. There is no relationship that is so perfect. And if you see a relationship is so perfect, then most of the time is like each and every partner is trying to hide their game, So by the time it is discovered, it's something so big, and people go their separate ways. And that's why you will find some marriages where people have been living together, all of a sudden they are going separate ways, and guys are like, how did that happen? It's because people have been hiding their feelings. They're not exposing them. So once you expose them, then it becomes a big deal, and people have to go their separate ways. It's not my prayer that people go their separate ways, and that's why I normally do these videos. So the fifth one is wait for the right time to have a conversation about something that is bothering you. When you're communicating, maybe you have something that is bothering you about your partner, try to make sure that you try to have a perfect timing. If it's something that is bothering you, maybe their behavior is not pleasing you, or you have something that is eating you up, don't bring this discussion when someone is in the middle of something else, or where they're in an uncomfortable place, or when they are mad because of something else. When you bring this, then it's going to escalate, and nobody's going even to listen to you. You are not going to be taken seriously, or it's not going to be addressed effectively. So try to make sure that the timing is perfect. When he comes home from work, try to make sure that first of all you've created that environment. Or if you're a guy, try to make sure that you have, the lady is in an atmosphere of love. You guys are perfectly in. And some conversations, I normally say, don't take them too casually, right? Because at times you can take some conversation too casually, and then somebody might easily say yes because of the situation that they're in or the environment that they're in. So try to make sure that you balance the two, so that if it's a sober discussion, then I'd prefer that you sit somewhere and then just go through it. And then the second last thing is approach the situation calmly and don't attack each other. That one, I think I had also mentioned it up there, so I won't delve much into it. And then last but not least is to listen to what your partner has to say. When your communication actually is a two-way form of interacting with the other person. Communication can't be complete if it's you only who is accusing the other partner, and yet they are not given an opportunity also to air their views. So as much as you may be accusing them, it's also good for you to listen to the reasons as to why such a thing happened, because you might find like the reasons are quite valid. So not unless you give them the time also to speak out, then a good relationship can easily deteriorate and get down to something else. So as we head towards the Valentine's Day, I really wish you guys the very best. I hope Cupid has shot you guys are not going to sit in the house and sleep the entire day. And if somebody doesn't buy you a gift, take yourself out for a treat, because even if there is nobody yet, trust in the Lord, because He loves you unconditionally. Otherwise, I wish you the very best of health, and I pray for you guys. Take care. Stay tuned.